Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Bow, bow, bow.
I am Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along to the Monday morning episode. You get it on Sunday evening if you're IFS. And also it's one of the occasional ones that we also stick up on YouTube in Vision. So you can have a look at us doing a podcast. Or
here we are.
If you're interested, you might be able to watch me coughing sporadically throughout the episode. If that's what you're into, cough fetishists, form a fucking queue because you're going to love this. Christmas, Sam. Christmas is coming.
Christmas.
What kind of level of presents do you get from your family?
Pretty decent. I'd get probably a selection of presents of varying sizes from my good wife. And
do you request stuff, or do they get you things they think you like?
A mixture.
Yeah.
We have a sort of a system where we ask each other, and like we've even shared lists with each other. And then and then like what I'll do is I'll have a look at some of it, and then I'll chuck in some of my own ideas as well. Like for instance, like weirdly, Lenny, my son, is got the shortest list. He's like more like I'm more like a kid in that I'll go, right, I want this, and I also want that, and here's some links to the things I want. And like my daughter.
And don't forget to get me some Smarties as well, because I love Smarties.
I like it. They used to do a Smartie, but because it was Christmas, they had like a Smartie holder shaped like a Christmas elf, and all the Smarties were inside. I want you to find me one of those. Yeah, but like,
have you seen the Have you seen the? You can get a tube of just orange Smarties, which are the best ones.
Oh yeah, that's
orange ones. Yeah.
Oh,
get that on your list.
Yeah, I might do actually. That's a nice idea. He has the shortest list. He's sort of like he's more like you'd expect Dad to be hard. Don't really know. Like, whatever. Not. Just get me whatever he thinks nice.
Yeah, my boy's like that. It's like he's like they don't need things, do they? They've got like games.
It's strange. Yeah,
and stuff.
Yeah, and like he's got a couple of games. He loves playing FIFA. He likes playing Minecraft. He likes playing Football Manager, and he flicks between all of those. And in the past, I've got him a game where I've just sort of like he hasn't asked for it, but I've like sort of looked up what are the popular games at the moment amongst young people, and he's just sort of going, "Oh yeah, cheers," but then sort of only had a couple of goes on it. So it's really sort of quite difficult. So I've bought him for his stocking. I've bought him a spork, you know, a food, a spoon fork, or as we call it, a fapoon. We've been talking quite a lot this year about sporks / fapoons, and I think he didn't even realize they were an actual thing. He thought I was doing it as a joke, so he'll be getting that in his stocking. So I've got quite high hopes about how that's going to go.
That's dead weird, that, because me ex-wife got both of my kids sporks.
Is that right?
Years ago. Yeah.
Oh,
well. They hadn't asked for them. She just thought, they could use a spork each.
Yeah, of course. They're really handy things to have. My daughter asked me, she went, Dad, listen, you know, in the West Ham club shop, she goes, they've got key rings, right? And I, of course they have, fucking loads of them. Why, you want a West Ham key ring? She went, do they have the sort of key ring that also is a bottle opener? And I went, I think I'll look into it. She went, yeah, I need one of them. And then she looked at 50. But lucky for her, they did have them. And I have got it for her. I don't know if that's enabling, you know, but she's 16. You know, she can go out.
It's West Ham, though.
Have a few beers. I liked the idea that it's West Ham. She's got much. When she was very young, she had a season ticket at Upton Park when she was like 5. And she used to come along and sort of think it was a laugh, you know, when she was little. But, you know, when they're that age, they just want a day out with you and to be given limitless sweets, which is basically
that's what it's about, isn't it, really? Yeah.
And then she stopped going. But now she's got back into it again, mainly because she's in 6th form. And in the common room, there's a bunch of like lads who give it the big un about football. And they're like, you know, obviously some of the fucking Chelsea fans, some of them are Arsenal fans, all the fucking usual bollocks, you know. And they've gone, who do you support? And she's gone West Ham. Like, oh, West Ham, they're shit. And she's gone, yeah, well, I have a season ticket, right?
Right.
Do you ever go to your club? Oh, no, you don't. And they're like, name a West Ham player then. So it's wound her so much up that she started coming to West Ham again, getting from where to college to antagonise them. And just like fucking just going in when we win and giving people quite a lot of shit, which I'm really, really proud of her about. You know, football is a lot about antagonising your peers. And I'm really glad to see that she's embraced that again as she gets like a bit older. So I think this key ring thing is all part of that.
Right.
She came to the pub. She brought her mate along to West Ham, and we went to the pub beforehand. And I went, "What do you want to drink?" So I was meeting mates. I said, "You should be all right in this pub. What do you want to drink?" And she went without hesitation. She went, 2 Peronis, please.
Oh,
and I went, what?
How old is she?
16.
Yeah.
I said, I'll get you a fucking bottle of Peroni, not a pint.
Yeah.
And then her and her mate, they're all like posh, you know, like they go, you know, they go to school in a very, you know, it's just, they go to a state school, but in a very leafy kind of posh area.
It's Leafy Barnes.
It's fucking Leafy Barnes. And she's like, she's outside the pub with a fucking beer and a fucking horse burger with cheese and onions in it. And I thought, okay, this is the way your teenage years are unfolding.
A horse burger?
Yeah, like a hamburger. We call them horse burgers. You always assume they're made of fucking horse meat, don't
right?
You?
Okay.
Oh, I just made a cracking dinner, mate. We've just done the Christmas decorating tonight, right? The plastic tree, by the way, went down.
I'm gonna say we need an update on that. We were due one last week.
Worked out
Friday, we didn't get it
exactly as my mate predicted, almost to the letter. Fucking it turned out. I set it up in my office. They all look. It took about 5 minutes to set up. They were all looking at, and it is the perfect tree. It's it's a tree that you would see on a picture postcard of Christmas.
Did you dress the tree before you?
I didn't need to. It was pre-lit. So all I did was I turned the lights off in the Vita Modular and then turned the tree lights on. And they were absolutely blown away. It's the sort of tree. I mean, we've dressed it now, but you could have not dressed it. And it sat practically. It arrived on Tuesday, so it's been in my office since Tuesday, just with the lights on, no decorations in the Vita Modular. And then today I took it across to the main house and we've dressed it and put all the other things on, had some Christmas tunes. They, as soon as they saw it, they went, "Oh, what's that?" I said, "What's it look like?" It's a fucking Christmas tree. Right. And, and they go, what's it for us? It's just for the office. It's a fake one. I know you lot weren't keen, but I thought, fuck it, I'll get one anyway. Right. I'll get one anyway. They were on special offer. They weren't. Right. I go, it's a special offer. I'll get it in the office, get it in the Vita Modular, liven things up a bit. Oh, it looks amazing. Oh, well, if you want, we could have it over here. And all three of them said at once, yes, definitely. It looks the fucking business, mate. And do you know what like you said? I can't remember if I told you this as well. They were like, "Oh, but what about the smell?" So I got a couple of fucking I got a couple of candles that smell like Christmas tree.
Yeah, I was going to say you can buy tins of smell, can't you? Spray on it.
I got a diffuser and I got a candle, and the scent aroma was Nordic pine, and I fucking I got them both on the fucking go, dressed the tree, and then tonight, right, in the spirit of feeling Christmassy, I made toad in the hole, right. 2 toad in the holes, one with veggie sausage, one with meat sausage, right? My daughter one. I made mashed potato that I actually got the electric, after I'd mashed it with the masher, I got my electric whisk out and I fucking whisked the cunt. So it's like cream, right? It was incredible. And then I did roasted carrots and I made onion gravy. It was amazing. And I laid it out on the table, like in separate bowls, serve yourself style, right? And I was really proud of myself. And then he said to me, I said, "There'll be a bit of this left for tomorrow. Bit of walking around sausage, bit of walking around mash." And he went, "I'd really like it if you did giant cooking more often." I was like, "That did what?" He went, "Oh, that's just what I call it when you do a big meal and there's all different bowls on the table." giant cooking. I said, I've never heard that before. He said, no, it's just something that I say in my head. Giant cooking.
Right.
Oh, he's done some giant cooking. So I like the sound of that giant cooking.
That's good. That's a thing now. That's the thing.
To just do giant cooking. Yeah.
I'm just looking. I've ordered myself a Christmas tree topper star.
Oh yeah.
A personalised one. It's darts related because obviously it's Dartsmas.
Oh, that's good.
Starting next Friday.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anymore. I'll show it off when it comes, if it comes, because I've realised once I've ordered it, it's getting delivered from Spain, and I'm looking at the shipment tracking now. It was entered into the IT system on the 4th, which was 6 days ago, and then it got handed over to GLS, which is the parcel company, also on the 4th, and then on the 7th, it reached the parcel centre in Germany.
Fuck it!
So it's gone from Spain to Germany,
and they wonder why the planet's melting.
And I don't know if and when it'll come, but yeah.
I got a Christmas. I've had a West Ham Christmas topper for quite a few years. Bought about 5 years ago. It's massive from the club shop, and that was the one bad thing about the fake tree. The fake tree couldn't handle it, right?
Oh yeah.
At first, the pines were too fat, so I had to trim it. I had to trim the top, right, in order to fit the topper on. Topper went on, and it got brewer's droop. It just went like this, the top bit straight over. So we've had so that's the only thing I'm disappointed with. It lacked strength. I suppose I could have done a splint.
I was going to say get some splints. Use something to splint it with,
like a wooden spoon, maybe
something like that.
Something like that. I might give that a go because I like having that on the top. But Christmas is fucking proper started in our house now. I think I've had 3 mince pies this weekend in total. We also I've got some peanuts today.
Good.
I got some peanuts, although, well, I said to my wife, she was going up the Asdas, and I said, she said, do you need anything? I said, yeah, get some peanuts. And I said, but make sure it's Christmas, make sure it's in a tub, not a bag. It's the most special time of the year. I will not be putting my hand inside a bag of peanuts like a fucking peasant, right? I want a fucking tub because it's Christmas. I don't mind putting my hand in a bag the rest of the year, but at Christmas time, I like to feel like a king. Yeah. You
do realise, pound for pound, that's a big outlay for the tub. Costs a lot more than the bags do per peanut.
It's Christmas.
Yeah. I'm not criticising. I'm just saying, if there's anyone listening or watching on a budget,
she's come back. She's come back and she said there were no tubs.
What?
I wouldn't be surprised if she was lying because she thinks more like you. She would have done the maths and thought, I'm not getting him a tub, even though he's insisted on one.
Fuck his tub.
Fuck his tub. She's gone, I've got bags.
Does he think he is?
One dry roasted and one plain salted. And I said, well,
that's tell you what, that's sickening me because there's nothing I love more when I'm having a couple of beers than some dry roasted nuts or some salted nuts. And I haven't had any beer for 2 weeks now, Sam.
Because of you being ill.
Because of this disease.
Maybe that's the fucking problem, mate. Maybe you should have a drink. Maybe see if that will stave it off.
Yeah.
I used to sometimes like pouring a bit of whiskey in my lemsip. That would mean it's basically
could do that. Could get into the hot toddy scene, couldn't I? Yeah.
But yeah, she brought them back in bags anyway. So I'm decanting them. I've got some jars, largest jars,
right?
You know, which sometimes have things like rice in, right, or whatever.
Rice in the poison,
not the poison. They have rice in them, right? And but they're empty, so I'm going to decant the nuts into jars and maybe decorate the jars to make them more festive looking,
like a little ribbon or something like that.
They're Dad's Christmas nuts. So that's good.
I'm miles behind on my Bailey's intake. And I've got 2 full litre bottles of Bailey's I haven't started on yet.
We haven't had any celebrations or Quality Street yet. But what I did get on Friday, was a milk tray.
Right.
All because the lady loves milk tray.
A box of
milk tray.
Box of milk tray.
Yeah.
For your lady?
No, for the family to share.
For you.
Oh, I got his milk tray. Oh, thank you, darling. Oh, I've got to watch. I'm watching West Ham Spurs and eating a milk tray to myself. No, we shared them, but that's a nice touch, isn't it? A milk tray.
That's good. That
The milk tray gets forgotten about. Of course, back in the 80s, it was the height of luxury, wasn't it? Right now, there's all these cool, trendy young pretenders like your Celebrations, your Heroes, and whatnot. Your Lindors, right?
Yeah.
Milk tray. Get it now. You will be surprised if anything. The quality has improved since the 80s.
Yeah,
it really has.
I might treat myself.
It's improved, but never ever get the Nestle alternative, which is called, what's that one called? They have their sort of version. In the 80s, it was all about like giving people boxes of chocolates, wasn't it? Oh, a box of chocolate. Box of chocolates.
You give a box of chocolates to a lady, wouldn't you? A bunch of flowers. Well, the fucking milk tray man. That's what he did, wasn't it? All because the lady loves. He'd break in.
It'd be
and leave a box of chocolates.
That
can't do that anymore.
He'd fucking death slide across like a fucking river, or like fucking jump out of a helicopter and crash through some poor Doris's window. Leave her a box of fucking $3.99 chocolates,
a little card,
and then fuck off before. I mean, it was absolutely. It was actually insane. Like it was insane. It was insane behavior. It was the man.
Problematic now.
The man was a psychotic. I mean, what was he? What the fuck was he playing at?
Well, it's not de rigueur anymore. It's like that Roy Orbison song, "I Drove All Night," which we discussed before. I drove all night to get to you, crept in your room. Is that all right?
No, it's not.
No, fucking isn't all right, Roy.
But
or the milk tray man.
Didn't we discover that that song was written about when Bielsa went to examine Maurizio Pochettino's legs in the middle of the night? I'm sure we established that once.
I think it was back in the early days. Yeah, come full circle.
It's called Dairy Box, Nestle Dairy Box.
Oh, right, okay.
Absolute shit. That's like the rival to the milk tray, but it is shit chocolate, soapy chocolate. It's absolute. It's a disgrace.
Oh God, that doesn't even look good.
It's horrible. Always go for a milk tray this Christmas. Do it.
Nestle's problematic, apparently, isn't it?
Yeah,
for various reasons.
Yeah, big time. What was the one that was all dark chocolate? And also, what sort of mad cunt asked for that? Was it called Black Magic?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't fucking exist anymore, does it?
Is it not? I'm going to have a quick look.
Who the fuck asked for that? Can I have the one that's only dark chocolate? Because I like bitterness. I like
fucking does, you know.
It does, yeah.
You can get it a box £4 in Iceland. Black Magic, made by Nestle.
Yes, that's Nestle as well. But
yeah,
I think that's a red flag. Someone who, I mean, don't get me wrong. If I was desperate, I'd scoff a box to myself if I had to. But imagine, I want one. You know, like you're saying, Smarties.
I don't mind a bit of dark chocolate,
but a whole a whole box.
You're gonna sit having one sitting here. You can pick away at it over the weeks.
But you want?
I might get one of them as well,
mate. That's very, very pretentious to like a whole box of dark chocolate.
Do you remember Bourneville chocolate?
Oh, of course I do, yeah.
Cadbury's. I used to like that when I was a kid. Dark chocolate.
Cadbury's, because that's the name of their village, isn't it? Bourneville Village, where I went earlier this year.
Of course you did, yeah.
Fucking one of my moments of the year. If I was doing my moments of the year, which I can't bother doing, but that would be right up there, my day trip to Bourneville Village.
God, it's been quite a year, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. There's been all sorts happening.
So have you got pretty much everything in then for?
No, we haven't done our big shop. What we did was we did a mini shop. Like I said, let's get a few Christmas things to start building up the excitement. So we won't have a fully stocked cupboard because I'd eat it all anyway. So, but just a few things. So a milk tray, some nuts, things like this. We won't go over the top, but we'll have a few treats hanging around. There was one box of mince pies. We're gently easing ourselves in, like easing yourself in to a hot bath.
I got the celebrations and the heroes start of November, and I still got 2 tubs of each left. I think.
And
got sick of them after a while.
You got your Baileys as well, didn't you?
Got the Baileys in. Can't drink that. Not well enough.
Yeah, it's a shame, mate. Just have you seen you know this Michelle Mone, Lady Baroness, Her Lordship Michelle Mone?
Yeah,
right.
She made a film.
Yeah, this is the maddest thing. Like, it's a late entry for maddest news story of the year. I woke up this morning and I haven't watched it with the sound up, but it's, you know, some things are like funnier with the sound down because you're like, especially when you just woken up, you think, is this happening? Like, we all know that the press have been on her case for months now over her and her rich husband, both of whom live on a compound in the Isle of Man, right? For being up to, you know, they're alleged to have taken the piss with the PPE scandal.
Massively.
Used their back channel connections in the government to get a huge multi-million-pound contract and then fucking just send a load of useless fucking PPE equipment, right? Whatever. They're all allegations.
In the middle of a deadly pandemic.
Nothing's proven. They're all allegations.
Let's not forget.
But,
of course,
you know, that has to come before an inquiry or a court of law, and it no doubt will. But in the meantime, because she's been on the back foot about this for so long, and there's some really dogged reporters like digging at this story, right? She has decided to take the step of commissioning I mean, how does this, what I'm about to say makes no sense, but I'll say it. She's commissioned an investigative reporter to investigate, to make a film about the case, right?
Yeah.
And she has also, as I understand it, funded this film, which is, I mean, you have to say the production values are incredible. I mean, this is a beautifully made film.
I've seen what they call a community note on Twitter, which says that it was actually funded by the PPE company that she set up with her husband.
Oh, that makes it very legit. So then, yeah,
that's kind of like her money, I suppose. But,
yeah.
You know,
but it's, I mean, it's like they've spent a huge amount. There are like helicopter shots. There are like massive sweeping drone shots over the Isle of Man. There's great editing. It's a sumptuous production. But my favorite bit about it is this so-called investigative journalist, right, who's sort of hosting it. And he's trying to indicate that he's like, listen, just because she asked me to do this and is paying me to do it, who knows whether he's getting paid or not, but let's just assume that somewhere along the line, he'll have his palm greased for this, right? Even though I'm doing it at her behest, I am, first and foremost, a dogged investigative journalist, right? And I will leave no stone unturned in my investigation of this very serious allegation, right? And so what he does is, to make sure he looks like a really serious journalist, he wears a suit throughout. There's not many journalists I know these days you can be asked wearing a suit, right? He pulls a very serious face, like, I'm fucking serious. And my favorite bit, Andy, is that there's loads of shots of him late night in an office with his spectacles on, examining loads of documents. And then he's interviewing her, and while he's interviewing her, and this is what makes it funnier about not having the sound on, he's interviewing her, and she turns up, because she's very glamorous, isn't she? She turns up looking like she's been in hair and makeup.
So
she's been in hair and makeup for like fucking 8 hours. She turns up in this. She's not doing herself any favors because it's done in her fucking palace compound, right? So this is completely insanely decadent fucking lounge room, right? That she sat in. Her hair's fucking enormous. She looks like fucking something out of Dynasty, right? And she's there, and he's got documents. And he's peering over his glasses and he's pointing at the documents. And then he's pointing at her to ask her serious, hard-hitting questions about the things that he's seen in the document. And I'm looking at it thinking, this is incredible. But I thought one thing they're missing here, they've not done a microfiche scene, right?
Oh, of course.
They did. That was the one thing they missed from the film about a serious journalistic investigation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They needed to have had him in a library late at night, looking through microfiche, suddenly seeing something about a murder that she was connected with 20 years beforehand when she had a different name. He zooms in on the microfiche. He sees it's her. He can see it's her, even though she's got a different name. And he immediately picks up his trench coat, which is over the back of the chair, grabs it, stubs out his fag, because it's a library that you're allowed to smoke in, right? And he fucking runs out the door, right? And I just, who am I to critique their film? But I would have put something like that in to make it seem even more legit.
Well, the guy in question is a fellow called Mark Williams Thomas, and he's done lots of this kind of thing. He was the first one to do the documentary on Jimmy Savile, and that came out. He used to be a copper.
And
he's deeply into doing investigative journalism now.
Yeah.
He did one about Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah.
He's done one about Jill Dando.
He's a pretend he's old Bill turned pretend journalist, and he doesn't understand that you can't be commissioned by someone to be
it was the subject.
That's the opposite of journalism.
It's the kind of thing that even Rebecca Vardy would have balked at. Do you know what I mean? I can't do that. That's so brazen.
Funny. It's so funny. And I was thinking, like, it opens with all this, March to 2020. The country plunged into the biggest crisis since the Second World War. And it uses all this archive footage, which, by the way, is not cheap either. I mean, just to use archive footage on a film like this costs quite a lot of money, right? And it cuts between, like, the empty streets of London, Trafalgar Square, like a ghost town, right? And then it cuts to Downing Street, and Boris Johnson sat down at his desk with a very earnest look on his face, right? And it's like, this is the context within which, Michelle Mone and her multi-billionaire husband decided that they wanted to help. They sprung into action. They wanted to help the nation. They wanted to give something back. So they quickly set up a PPE company. They
taken so much from the sale of bras. They decided it was time to give something back.
We made a fortune out of supporting this nation's tits. And now
we've covered tits. Now it's time to cover some faces.
What's the difference, we thought? We know all about things with straps.
About 10 inches.
We had a load of bras. We had a load of bras left over from the last batch we'd ordered from China. And we thought, let's fucking adapt them into face masks and flog them to the government for £1 billion.
Nice soft lacy ones.
Luckily, I had Boris's fucking phone number and WhatsApped him. He said, no problem, get them over, pronto. I'll transfer the money by backs today into your Isle of Man account. I mean, it was astonishing.
I saw people talking about it. I saw that you'd done a tweet and said, I have made this documentary, or this documentary will be broadcast. And I thought, who's showing this? ITV, Channel 4? Who's it going to be? Fucking YouTube. It's not even on the telly.
On my YouTube
not even real.
Channel. I thought to myself, do you know what we should do? Because I thought, hang on, look, a lot of people could be said to have exploited or cashed in on the pandemic back in 2020. And who can honestly say that they didn't look at all the angles? And you and I
mean, ourselves, we did the Brown John live streams.
I think we were doing 2 episodes a week before lockdown, maybe 3, I can't remember. Right? Within a few weeks of lockdown, we decided we were going to start going 5 days a week, right?
Like, is that when it was?
And we said, right, it's time.
They got nothing else to do.
It's time for no. That's not what we said. I've got the minutes of our meeting. As you know, I have minutes of the meeting because we have to submit them to the British Library, right? Yeah. And to the public records in queue. And there's a 30-year law that all podcast production meetings get released 30 years after. But I can reveal a bit of it because I've been looking back through my personal records, and we said, look, the country's in crisis, and we can either sit and do nothing, or we can rise up and decide that no, we will be. And we saw ourselves very much as sort of the Vera Lynns of that situation, didn't we? Right, let's keep the morale up, right?
Yeah,
and we did it. And but some people will no doubt say, no, you exploit the fact that people had gone fucking bananas. They were stuck at home. They were lonely. They were bored. They were insane. They'd listen to any old fucking shit.
Your shit. They don't know any better. There's no one around them to tell them otherwise.
They'll listen to any fucking shit to pass the time, and you cashed in on that. So I
think every day.
I would like us to look into hiring this guy. What's his name?
Mark Williams
Listen,
Thomas.
I think we should reach out to Mark Williams Thomas, right, and say we would like to commission you to make an investigative film about how we launch new cheers for the Iron Filing Society within the first month of lockdown in 2020. And we want you to use your powers, your journalistic powers, right, to establish whether or not we were actually trying to help the nation or whether we were trying to just cynically line our pockets.
And we will stand behind whatever you find and discover.
Whatever you find, And if you find
no agenda,
exploiting a crisis, then we will both humbly withdraw from public life, or
completely.
If the judicial system sees fit, we will serve time in Chokey. But only in pod prison, though. We're not going in real prison.
We throw ourselves at the feet of the authorities.
We will go into pod prison. I said, I'm not doing time in proper Nick because I don't want to. There's a lot of if
we're in pod prison, we still record remotely from different cells.
If you do a podcast from prison,
studio cell,
like at LD's Radio Awards, if you do a podcast from prison, you win an award for it, even if it's shit.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, it could work out for the best, really, long term.
Chokey Pod with Sandra Lady and Andy Dawson. They tried to shut us down. We shook up the establishment. They didn't like that, so they put us behind bars. But nothing will stop our voices. Nothing.
We did a prison pod, and now we're back and we're scooping up all the awards.
I've seen quite a lot of Farage on the Jungle, and he talks loads about how I've spent my whole life disrupting things. I took on the establishment. They don't like that. Oh, they'll come for you when you take on the establishment.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah. He's been.
Is that not finished yet? Jesus,
it's the finals tonight, and he's in the final three. He's against Tony Bellew, who's my favourite. Is he going to win? I hope he wins.
Knock Farage's fucking head off at the end.
No, he's been giving Farage an appropriate amount of shit. And when I say appropriate, maybe not what everyone would see as appropriate. Something he just smash his head in. But he's been, obviously they've had to play nice because they're all living there together. But he's been one of the ones who's been like holding him to account a few times and telling him, you're come on, mate, you're a cunt. Farage has played. Farage. The other one is this kid called Sam. I think he's called Sam Thompson. And I'd never heard of him, right? And when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this guy's a fucking nightmare. He was like bubbly and bouncing. They said he was a radio personality. And I thought, oh, God, he's obviously like on Capital Radio or something. And he's like fucking got too much. He's too bubbly and fun. But then over time, I realized, oh, no, he is genuinely mad. And that, and when I realized that it wasn't an act and he was just off his fucking rocker, I started to like him. Because he's just fucking mad. I mean, like, I've never seen a geezer like him. He just does not fight. He's happy all the fucking time. And at first you think, oh, it's just radio host bullshit. Do you know what I mean? No, he is fucking, he's just like the most effervescent bloke. So he'll probably win. And it turns out, because I'm such an old man, I didn't realize the cunt actually is famous. He's already won about fucking 3 other reality shows. He won like, he went on fucking SASU Tough Enough Celebrity. He went on Celebrity Big Brother. He first got famous because he was on Made in Chelsea. He's been on the lot. So he's been around for years and he's pretty famous already. But he's quite a good guy. I mean,
how do we get involved in this then? How do we get onto some kind of celebrity reality show? As a double act, obviously. Celebrity coach trip, is that still going?
Yeah, we could do that. Well, Danan's done that. We could get. I'll speak to Danan about how you get it done.
Hook us up. Yeah.
I mean,
let's draw a line under all of it now.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
All right then. Results spot got 3 points. You got 3 points. I got 1 point. So it's we're no further forward.
Doesn't it? West Ham got fucking battered by Fulham.
Yeah.
The Premier League's mad. We beat Spurs, then Fulham beat us 5-0, and Spurs beat Newcastle.
And then Fulham's got Newcastle next week.
Fulham have won 2 games 5-0 in a row.
Yeah,
they've got to be the best team in the Premier League. Fuck's sake,
probably.
Amazing. Football,
well.
eh? What a Barbie game. What a topsy-turvy game. And
That's
why
what
we
keeps
all
us in
love
love with it.
That's why we love it. That, of course,
We
are the
keep coming
opinions.
back again and again for more and more.
We love that, and we love the opinions. It's all about opinions. Opinions
God,
and
yeah.
unpredictability. What a game.
What about that VAR?
Was it offside? Wasn't it offside? Well, tell us what you think. You know what the
Maybe
number
we'll
is. The
never
lines
know.
are open.
Right, that's it. We'll be back throughout the week with new IFS stuff. And we're going to try and pre-record some Christmas stuff, aren't we?
Oh,
So
I can't wait to start doing the Christmassy ones this week.
Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, so thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.